We don't see that part, and we focus on the 1% and say, I told you so. And I want you to understand why that's true. You know, the old saying is, I'll believe it when I see it. And how many of you, by the way, have people in your family, people in your community that say, yeah, I'll believe that's a real business when I see it. When you have the new car, when you put the bank, how many of you, okay. Okay, here's something I want you to do that might help you have a little more patience with them. In that giggle I heard, but I just want to stab them in the eye with a fork. Tell the truth, any of you ever have that urge? Wait till you go to sleep. So, if you have a little bit more patience, that statement is 100% false. Because the honest goodness truth is, your belief system is something called a deletion and distortion machine. That's what it does. Your belief system deletes and distorts. So everything that I've said and poke fun at and all those sorts of things, you didn't hear what I said. You heard the story you made up about what you think you heard me say. That's the truth of it. It is a deletion and distortion machine. And a lot of those people that are giving me a hard time, it's this. I'll believe it when I see it. Is I can't see it until I believe it. And that is why some of you will have the experience of, you'll go home with stunning results. You'll win a trip. You'll go do something amazing. You'll win a prize. You'll get up-leveled to...
Superstar.
Sure, superstar. Super-de-duper diamond. I don't know what you say, but you'll get up-leveled, and the people in your life sometimes can't see it. They're not trying to be pissy with you. They're not trying to necessarily put you down. It doesn't fit within their belief system that that's something to celebrate. They don't get it. It doesn't compute. There's no lights, no landing gear. That's what it is. It's like no lights, no landing gear, just above their head. So sometimes when you begin to understand that they can't see it, even if you put it on a platter in front of them because their belief system won't let it in, then you can just let them do their thing. It's all good. You get to do your world. I'll have my world, and sometime it may or may not ever come together based on if they can let their belief system adapt. Does that make sense to you? And by the way, many of them have an agenda, unconscious in their belief system, that's never going to let them adapt. But you could lead it and serve it and support it. Okay, so I want to talk about two other big ones here. Religion has a lot to do with this in terms of what we learned is right and wrong. Please hear, I didn't say religion is right and wrong. It's just lots of what we have learned about what's right and wrong has been taught there. The other piece is media. So, any of you write any copy or wish you had better words to say to the people that you're talking to with your clients and all those sorts of things? Okay. It's an old book, but it's incredibly powerful. It's called Cash Copy. And in the same way as you would write copy, you can speak copy. And it's called Cash Copy. And he did research that said if you lived in a metropolitan area in North America, you were bombarded by over 2,500 advertising messages a day. And this is pre-internet. Okay, so if you are bombarded by 2,500 advertising messages a day pre-internet, what are you bombarded with now?
A million.
Probably tens of thousands. It's probably tens of thousands. You know, if you spend 5 minutes on Facebook. So the reason I tell you this is that media is having such a powerful, powerful influence on what we believe that we don't even begin to recognize it. How many of your parents? Okay. So this is something that I do in great depth and detail in the gift, because I think one of your most important jobs as a parent in 2014 is media filtering and questioning and consciousness with your children. Because the honest to goodness truth is, without a filter and a question, those poor little beings believe the dumb shit that's on TV. And it's your job to get them to pose the question. Does that make any sense to you? So just like, here's a simple little belief, and this is one of the things that we did. So you know those cars that they advertise at Christmas? So car advertisement, they pull the zip and the car goes. And of course, in the advertisement, it goes about 7 miles. It visits a couple of different towns. It goes up a wall. Then it comes all the way back and parks itself in the little spot so they can do it again. And of course, my youngest, 4.5, wants this. And it's like, so hon, just to be clear, they're trying to sell this. And when they try to sell this, they try and make it look better than it really is. So it won't go that far. It'll probably go 5 feet. Oh, no, Dad. I saw the ad. It goes there. It could go from my house to Karis's, his little girlfriend down the street. It could go from my house to Karis's house. It doesn't have to go, right? He's sure of it. So let's go to the store. So we go to the store and say, look, I'm going to buy this as long as the thing goes 20 feet. It doesn't have to go halfway down the block, but it needs to go 20 feet. If the thing doesn't go 20 feet, I'm not buying it. Dad, it'll go, just buy it. Let's just buy it. So I get the kid who's working at, I'm sure the kids at Toys R Us hate me. So take it out, make the thing go 20 feet, and we'll buy it. And of course, it comes out and it didn't go 3 feet. It didn't go 3 feet. It was even a bigger piece of shit than I expected. Sorry. But guess what Jackson says? Like, here it is in real live color. Now, he's watched this commercial, I don't know, however many times, a bunch of times. So it goes, 2 feet and falls over. And I say, sorry, we can't buy it. This just doesn't do what he said it was going to do. Guess what he says? This one's broken. Get him to open another one. Because he believes and knows that it goes that far because he saw it a multitude of times. This is just not right. So I say to the kid, so I know you don't want to open another box. So you tell me if it's going to be any different, and if it's any different, I'll buy it. And what does he say? No. It won't be. Sorry, I'm not buying it. So, am I making any sense to you in terms of how the beliefs get in there and into some of the subtlest, most amazing ways? Now, really quick for this part. We all have limiting beliefs. Okay, now, as you're sitting there going, I wonder if I have limiting beliefs. As I look to my left and as I look to my right, I'm pretty sure they do. Did you see what they... Me, I think I'm okay. So the point is this. We all have limiting beliefs. We all do. You have them now. If you choose to participate in the gift, you'll have them after. The difference will be you'll be aware of them, you won't be reinforcing new ones, and you'll have tools and methods to release them. But the honest God truth is, a belief, limiting belief is any thought or idea that blocks or hinders us from creating what it is that we want in our lives. Now, the key to doing this is to become aware. And it is from that awareness we have the power of choice. Because any belief, attitude, and behavior that you have ever learned, and I don't care if you saw it on TV 10 times, I don't care if you have lived it, breathed it, tasted it for however many years you've been on planet Earth, you have the power and ability to relearn. And the part for this section I want to leave you with is twofold. Yes? The part that I want to leave you with on this point is the fundamental confusion of humanity. And I want you to just really hear this as best you can hear it for what you know of this. The fundamental confusion of humanity is that we have begun to believe that we are our belief system. But what I want you to begin to understand and to know is that your belief system is nothing more than one more tool at your disposal as a human being. A tool like your eyes, a tool like your voice, a tool like your body. Your belief system is nothing more than a construction and a collection of every experience you've had your entire life, that your belief system stored to keep you safe, stored to make sure that you survive, and does this little trick that goes, I've got us this far, don't fiddle with me. So we were having this conversation. It's like, how many people here feel like, it's like, I know, like I've got this pattern where I start on fire, and I get moving, and I get shaken, and all of a sudden it's like I go boom into the wall, and it's like, done. And all things stop. Okay? So you know what I'm talking about. So I want to be super clear about this. Is that when that occurs, that's not who we are. All that is a result that if we are so conscious and clean and clear about, that will inform us about our beliefs so that we can stop the pattern. But the truth is, we think that the result is us. We think that our thoughts are us. We think that that's how that goes. And when we are convinced and committed that what we believe is true, as opposed to it's just a tool, then what happens is we go on a process of trying to always be right. Because if what I believe is true, I have to be right. And there's a saying in this business which is simply this: you could be right or you could be happy. Which would you prefer? Happy. It's right in. Who said right in? Yes, yes, exactly. I want to be both. The son of a bitch about it is they're mutually exclusive. Because if I am committed to being right, it has to be this way. It precludes happy. Because I'm now positioned in an old, outdated spot without the freedom to say, I thought this is what it was, but guess what? I'm willing to actually go over here and see if it's something different. Does that make any sense to you? Okay, so we've got to get clear about what that boils down to. I want to give you a quick assignment, and then I'll give you an example. So the quick assignment is this. What I would ask you to write is this. In terms of beliefs, what are your top 3 supporting powerful beliefs? So I'm talking about your life, your capacity, I'm talking about your business, all those pieces. What are the 3 beliefs that totally 100% drive you forward? If we go back to that video, that drive you forward, that says, I will not stop, I cannot be stopped, I will not quit, there is nothing that will stop me, I will see it all the way through, damn it, until I win. What are those 3 beliefs? So give me some examples, because sometimes people go, I don't know what the hell he's talking about.
Honesty.
Honesty, yes, love that.
Integrity.
Integrity, huge.
That you're worth it?
Absolutely, I am worth it and I deserve it. Give me some others.
Drive.
What about the drive?
That I have to drive.
That I have the drive, I can maintain the drive, nothing's going to shake me from my drive, okay? Can I go back to drive just for a moment? How many people, this goes back to the other piece, and it's related to determination, by the way. How many people, we talked about the wall thing, and then it sort of gets bombed. The key piece about the drive that I would ask you to consider in terms of a belief level, and by the way, it's so much easier to see the behavior and the attitude than it is the belief, and we'll work more with this in a moment or two. But the belief that I think is most important about drive is this. I create and control my drive. That's the belief that makes the difference. Because we all have drive at times, when Mercury's not in Gatorade and the stars align and I didn't stub my toe and my upline placed 2 people underneath me. It's like, whoa, have I got drive? Look out. But the belief that's most powerful related to drive and determination is, I create and control my drive. That's a different belief altogether. Do you understand that distinction? It's a big deal. Okay, give me just 2 more before we switch to the other side.
Commitment?
So tell me,
Respect.
yeah, but what's the belief about respect?
I guess the way I see it is that you have to gain that, you have to create it yourself.
Yes. So the belief, and may I ask your name?
Yeah.
So Jim, so what I think I heard Jim say, just to be clear, is that my belief is I must earn and generate and be the person that is worthy and deserving of respect. And I'm committed to do that. Perfect. That fits. One more.
Fulfillment.
So what's the belief about fulfillment? I'm not sure who I'm...
Accomplishing what you set out as goals.
Perfect. So the belief is that I will see it through, that I will take the steps, that if I do take the steps, that it will lead to a spot of fulfillment, joy, peace, meaning, significance, whatever those pieces are for you. Beautiful. Okay. Are you with me about what the supportive beliefs are? So here's an interesting one. I said it earlier. One of my most supportive beliefs my entire life has been, I'm from Saskatchewan, and I work hard. I will out-row you no matter what. Now, anybody relate to that, by the way? Okay. Now, here's the irony, and here's the flip side to this. Has that belief supported me well in my life?
To a certain degree.
I'm going to say that really loud.
To a certain degree.
Yes, to a certain degree. And this is the irony for most of us. This is the irony for most of us. Is the very belief that got me, through high school, going once a week, while I ran, while I ran 3 businesses and all those pieces, that very belief that also then started my businesses, that also then had me being fundamentally financially free in my 20s, doing all those things, that belief also took me to here, but it was that belief that stopped me from
Going further.
the next steps. Now, if that's not already clear to you, where we're going here is what are 3 limiting beliefs that are blocking, hindering, and getting in your way. Okay, so and let's just talk about that for a minute. I'll share one related to this. So this very supportive belief up to this point in my life also became the single greatest limiter to my evolution and contribution and growth. Because I'm a hard worker, I can do it. On my own was my dialogue, but by myself is the same thing. I don't need your help, I don't need a coach, I don't need a team, I don't need all those people that I gotta use that babysit. I'm gonna do it. I can still do the work of 12 people, so I can still outperform any team that has 12 people. Watch me. But the truth of the matter is I want to make global contribution. Do I need 12 people for global contribution or more in terms of my type of business? Hell of a lot more. So what is often our greatest strength becomes our most substantial limitation. And this might help if you write this down. Often our greatest weakness is nothing more than our most significant strength turned up too loud. Often our greatest weakness is nothing more than our most significant strength turned up too loud. All that means that we're relying on it instead of evolving and broadening our capacities. And then it ends up stopping us. Am I making any sense? Okay, so give me a... Okay. Oh, say it again, please. So, our greatest challenge is nothing more than our greatest strength turned up too loud. Okay, the last part of this. The limiting beliefs. So give me some examples of, and you're each going to write your own 3 limiting beliefs. So what are 3 limiting beliefs? And a limiting belief is a block, a thought or idea that blocks, hinders, or gets in our way of being, doing, and having what we want in our life.
I'm not worth it.
I'm not worth it. And by the way, in North American society, that is the most common core negative belief, is some theme of that process. So that I would wager dollars to donuts, every single one of us in this room has some of that going on. Excellent example. What else?
Fear.
I can't do it, and I heard fear. So who said I can't do it? Okay? Tell me more, what is the it in this case? Because the I can't thing is usually contextual, meaning that I can't do this piece. I can't pick up the phone and talk to them about Nucerity, or because that's a network marketing company, or I can't because I didn't get enough education, or I can't because I live in too small a town, or I can't because, like, what's the context around I can't? Could you be specific?
Easiest way for me to explain is I went from proprietorship to corporation. And I jumped into it with both feet. By the end of the year, I'm overwhelmed, I can't do it. Or my perception was I couldn't do it.
Okay. And would that be because of lack of support? Would that be because of lack of...
Part of it was lack of understanding.
Lack of
There was a lot
understanding.
of good numbers.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. Love that. That makes a huge difference. How many of you have ever leapt in something that if you really knew what you were leaping into, you never would have done it in 12 billion years? Yes. By the way, I am ever so grateful for for the ignorance of youth, because I never, ever would have actually bought my company because I didn't know what I was getting into, and I was like the ripe old age of 23 years old and thought I'd won the lottery, when in fact what I had done is inherited a debt. But it felt like the lottery. So the point being, look at the context of that. So give me just 2 other, one more, we've got 1, 2, give me one more example, please. Yes, money is the root of all evil. There's a belief that sponsors struggle in epic ways. Now, and just to be perfectly clear about this, you are aware, and everyone else here is aware, that that is one of the most epic misquotes of the Bible since the beginning of time.
The
The
love,
actual quote is what?
the love of money.
What was I say? Told you you'd learn something.
How about this one?
Yeah.
If you want something done, you gotta do it yourself.
Oh, I can hardly relate to that one given my story. Yes. So, here's what I want each of you to do in a moment or two, is to just take a moment to write down what are the greatest beliefs that are serving and supporting you. Where else and how else could they be applied? What is the next step in the integration and application? What are the beliefs that are blocking, hindering, and getting in the way? And by the way, if you don't know what the belief is, here's a little trick. And by the way, please pay attention to this one, because who here has already deduced that if I want to change my results, I better become more conscious? Who has already figured that part out? Yes. Here's a little tidbit in terms of leverage. Is that if you were actually creating all the results you're creating in your life just being 10% aware, if you became 11% aware, if you do the math, that's actually a It's a 10% increase. It is some of the most highly leveraged work you'll ever do in your life. Is the thing they said, know yourself, invest in yourself, figure out what the hell is going on inside here because that's what makes the difference. And 1% could give you a 10% lift. So if you're making $50,000, that could be $500,000 with 1% more consciousness. Would that be a reasonable investment? For sure, Sherlock. So, I won't say what I was going to say. So here's the thing. Write this sentence down. If you're having trouble identifying the beliefs, what must I believe to have this result? What must I believe to have this result? So the part I want to leave you with before you guys do more training is your results aren't accidental. They are nothing more than feedback about your beliefs, your attitudes, and behaviors. And if you're not keen on the results, how many of you have some results that, like, as you're looking back, it's like, I'm not so happy about that. That's not how that was supposed to go. That ain't what I wrote down when I was setting my vision. Okay? So it's not accidental that it is that way. And please, we don't want you to beat yourself up about it. That's not what the point is. The point is to be a conscious human being who takes 2 steps back and says, so, what does that mean about my beliefs? So I got really close. Maybe I hit 90% of my goal, but I just didn't have the support to see it all the way through. Or there I was, I tackled something I didn't know what I was getting myself into, and I didn't educate myself. And bring in an expert, a coach, or a resource that could guide me through faster. Whatever it is, that's all I'm asking you to do. What must I believe to have this result? Without judgment, so celebrate that which serves, and question that which is blocking, hindering, and getting in the way. Okay? So far so good? Are there any questions about this? Because I was motoring like crazy to get this foundational idea in. All good? Or is your brains on tilt?
Some of this covered in your book.
A good portion of this is covered in the book, but not nowhere near. Yes and no is the answer. So part of it in the book, it takes one key topic, which is personal accountability. And when we come back to the next piece, based on the beliefs, we're going to do what the excuse element is that we talked about. So it is implicit, but not tackled in exactly this manner. Okay? Any other questions I can answer for you? Okay? So here's the thing that I want you to do. Take a deep breath in, gang. Exhale. One more deep breath in. And exhale. You are more like a computer than you know. And the truth is, are any of you Mac fans? Macintosh fans? Okay. Any of you still using PCs? Okay. Do you come over at the end and I'll kick your ass on the way out and we'll help you? Now, on a serious note though, here's one of the best metaphors I can give you for this, because this is all just a bunch of words at this moment. The best metaphor I can give for you is this. Imagine you go to the Macintosh, or do they have an Apple Store? Imagine you come to Calgary and go to the Apple Store, and you walk out with one of the new little laptops. And that new little laptop comes loaded with things like iMovie, iPhoto, all those sorts of things. Quite literally, you can make a television commercial, you can produce a television series, you can organize your photos, you can, it just goes on, you can write music for goodness sakes, you can produce music, like it's all these things. Now in another life, I have produced 27 half hours of internationally broadcast television. I used to have an Avid. That Avid cost me about $500,000 with the ultra-fast and wide SCSI drives, 15 years ago. That little laptop you walk out with for $2,000 can do about 97% of what the Avid did just 15 years ago. Now, here's the thing, though. Imagine that you buy this Mac, and you take it home, and you put it in your office, and then you install Microsoft Word. Okay? Now imagine, every single morning, every single afternoon, every single evening, you go and you whip off a letter in Microsoft Word. And you do that every single day for about 3 years. What does the Macintosh begin to believe it is? It's a word processor. How does it know it's a word processor? It's all you're using it for. In fact, he might have a little conversation with the stapler, and he says, hey, I'm pretty wicked, word processor. And the stapler goes, oh, you know what? You're not just that. You can actually produce movies, you can do music, you can do all sorts of things. And he goes, don't be so silly. I'm a word processor. I know I'm a word processor. In fact, I'm so right on a word processor, if you wait about 45 minutes, the owner's going to come in, he's going to whip off a letter. So the owner comes in, whips off the letter. It's really good, and they print it. Click. Owner leaves. The stapler says, yes, I know, but you can do anything. He goes, no, I can't. This is all we ever do. Wait, 6 o'clock tonight, he's going to come in, we're going to write a letter. I'm a word processor. And the stapler says, no, I promise you, you're not. But so long as the computer's only experience is in Microsoft Word, it looks, feels, and performs like it's in Microsoft Word. What is necessary is to get out of Microsoft Word and get to the operating system to launch alternative programs. That is exactly the same that is true for you. You've got some software installed, and you can write a damn fine letter. But the truth is, it might be time for a 3D movie. It might be time to write your own song. It might be time to publish the power of your life. And the point I want you to take is you already have the capacity. It's already there. We just need to get back to the operating system. So on that, I'll stop talking.